My next guest, actually, we're taping this after I've already interviewed my next guest. But I found out way afterwards that there were so many things that I never asked her. And I said, why didn't we talk about some of these things? And she said, you never asked. So what I did was I did a little research and I made a list of things that I never asked her. But I think it would be very interesting if you knew more about her. See, I've known her for 40 years and be, hi Leslie, what are you doing? Let's go to lunch, things like that. But now I find out, here, let me read you this list. She's the state champion in basketball. And I thought, whoa. She's run, 18 marathons. She's run two, what do they call it when it's three? Triathlons, I guess. She's lived on let's see, what is this? No, on an RV for 5 years. She's, I'm sorry, I was so floored by all of this. She lived on a sailboat for 12 years. She sailed a boat all around and through the Caribbean, or Caribbean, whichever way you want to pronounce it. She's lived outside. She loves being near water. Actually, her home is on the California coast, so she's got the ocean right there whenever she wants it. She loves nature, and she loves hiking, she said, and she loves her family and her friends, and she's very kind, and she works in a prison, which we do cover in the interview, where she's a guard, where she's been attacked, where she's been broken up in pieces and mended and everything. And more than anything else, I've discovered she's very, very modest. So I wanted to lead into this interview because we don't cover any of this during the interview. So enjoy meeting Leslie Rehak. Okay? Whatever you carry. Leslie. Oh, I haven't seen her in 20 years. Hello. You know what she did for a birthday of mine in Los Angeles? She decorated the entire street. And when I went out at 6 in the morning, I thought, oh, wait till the neighbors start to complain. So I started tearing things down. And one of the neighbors said, don't, she was here all night. And she decorated it. It was a wonderful birthday. Anyway, I did forget something. This is a picture of the two of us where we posed. And it's a nice, pleasant picture. However, someone sent me another picture. I don't know where it came from, but this picture shows two friends who've known each other for 40 years, who love each other, and look at what a beautiful picture that is. Okay, now people meet Leslie in person. Okay, thank you. Etc., etc., etc. Let me turn this off and I'm going to explain this instrument. Have you moved up to me now? He's a little slow, people, so I have to talk to him very gingerly because he cries very quickly. Anyway, I bought this. Oh, I'm Gerald Gordon. I love that you're with us, and I hope that you will call your friends and increase our audience because we're having a ball, and I hope you enjoy what you're watching. This is an organ, and it was a pump organ. But after a while, pumping an organ and playing it, I got exhausted. And I had a job when I was I think I was a senior in high school. I had three guys that I paled around with: Leonard, David, Larry, and me. And Leonard's father was the minister, the preacher of the Methodist Church. And he said, well, you play the piano, can't you play the organ? And I said, yeah. And he said, well, we can hire you, and we have a little choral group, and we'd like you to, play for our services. And he was an excellent tennis player. And though I beat him a couple of times, and then I apologized to God, of course. But he had installed a red light and a green light. The red light was stop whatever you're doing, don't play. But the green light was play. And so after week, no, and the soprano was this coloratura, and she had Marilee, I don't remember her name, but she could just zoom all over the place, and the alto and the tenor and the bass baritone. And we would have fun. And I said one day, why don't we jazz up one of the hymns and see what happens? And Marilee said, I don't think Reverend Bud is going to like that. And I said, well, you can tell us to stop. And I said, something like, let's say, what could we do? Oh, I turned it off, but it would go boom, 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 ba-dum, boom, ba-dum, boom, ba-dum, boom. And all of a sudden the red light went on. And it's blinking, and then all of a sudden I heard clapping, and the audience, or the congregation, not the audience, they were clapping, and I was going to town, and we were going ba-dum, 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 and she was sailing way up in the hemisphere. It was wonderful, and finally the red light, she stopped me, and she said, and so we stopped fooling around during his service, but I had to think a lot about stopping. I was having so damn much fun. And speaking of having so much fun, I should go to what we're really planning on doing today. I got sidetracked here. I've known this person. I think she was 18 when I first met her, but let me catch my breath, and we'll move around, and I'll introduce my guest to you. Okay? AP, you're in the way. I'm sorry. But I'm going to toss you to my beautiful guest. Oh! There you go. You can't hold him, and you put him over there. All right.
I've known this guy for 40 years.
This is somebody that I have known and loved for a century, it seems. How old were you when we first... This is Leslie... What's your last name?
Rehack.
I know. Leslie Rehack. And you were how old when we met?
18 years old.
And that's about how many years ago?
40 years.
Oh, dear God. 40 years. Let's see, I was 24 for 11 years. I was 29 for 8 years. And now I'm 125.
You look great, I'm telling you, man.
You need glasses.
You have not changed a bit.
Really?
Not
tell me
bit.
more. I want to hear
I
more.
tell you that every time.
When? I haven't seen you in years.
No, that's not true.
Well, I didn't make any notes because I figured we had so many things to talk about. I'm going to let you talk. What is the first thing that you remember?
Our interview.
Oh yeah, how did you get to meet you? I interviewed you for a class.
Yeah, I was.
Oh my God.
I was on a softball team, a celebrity softball team. And one of the gals that was on the softball team, we just hit it off, and she just thought I was really funny. And she said, "You've got to meet a friend of mine. I take acting lessons with him, and I think you would just do great." And so she gave me your number.
You were funny?
I'm hysterical.
Wow.
Not just not around you.
Yeah, I never think of you as being funny.
I'm hysterical.
I think of you talented.
Oh, I'm hysterical. So I went to the interview, and I was scared to death because I was. Even though I was very outgoing, I was very self-conscious.
I don't remember the interview.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
No, how can you? How can you?
Well, you see, normally, whenever I would teach, I would interview, I would say between 15 and 50 people, and then choose 12 at the most. And 12 was really too much for an acting class because the best number I found out was 6 to 8, because then I could work with each person individually, and we would have good results. So you must have impressed me if I put you in the class.
Because I'm funny.
Well, I didn't think you were funny. Okay, so you're in class then.
Well, I didn't know if I wanted to really pursue acting. I just knew that an acting class would help me with my
With your what?
self-consciousness. You know, I was very shy. Even though I was outgoing, I was shy. It's kind of a weird thing. So I loved the class. I remember my first assignment was to do a pantomime.
That's right. That's what I used to do. I assign pantomimes. For those of you who don't know, it's a scene without dialogue. It's where you have to convey emotions and feelings all through body movement, facial movements, and no words to help you out.
And I remember I pantomimed walking into my grandma's attic. And I remember it, I did it the other day, I remember it so well. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it is, because I don't remember a thing.
And then I went on,
How many people were in that class?
I'd say about 10,
Yeah.
10 or 12. We had a big class, and then we all went through, I think, 3 classes together. We just got really tight.
Well, now that happens with certain groups. Certain people are more vulnerable and not as uptight, or at least I'm able to break some of that so that they can be more real. And I'm not a method acting teacher, but I want reality. I want you to be honest. I want you to be... Well, the hardest thing in teaching acting is teaching people to listen. People just don't listen.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
That's right. That's a perfect example. Because, well, all right, I'll give you... That was funny, okay? You got something that was funny. It really was funny. Or stop it, will you? I want to be serious. We got people who are wondering, who the hell are these people and what are they talking about? So she's funny, people. You know, you had an example of it. She's funny, okay? But she's no, whatever. So what were we talking about?
Well, I just fell in love with you. I just enjoyed being around you. I just loved...
Well, I got to tell you people something. On one of my birthdays, oh, I remember this now. I went out on my front porch to get the newspaper, and I looked at the street. This is in California. The entire block was decorated with crepe paper and balloons and happy birthday Jerry. And I thought, what the hell is this? And I ran out there in pajamas, no less, and I'm tearing down some of the crepe paper, and I forget her name, the woman who lived across the street from me came out and said, "What are you doing?" She worked all night. And I said, "What do you mean, who?" She said, that tall, thin, blonde girl. She decorated the whole block. And I said, Leslie decorated the whole block for my birthday. And I can't think of the neighbor's name. And she said, "Go in your house and enjoy it, you idiot." And I went in. It was beautiful. It was, I never thought of taking pictures.
You know, you don't think of that at the time, but
No.
it's up here.
Yeah, it was, what a way to start your birthday date, with a whole street block with balloons and crepe paper. And you're crazy.
I know. But, and
Do
then,
you remember doing it?
Oh, heck yeah. And I think you don't remember, but I set up a scavenger hunt for you with gifts.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
See how lucky and how fortunate I was? That's why I put you in class, because I knew you would...
Keep decorating your life.
Do you remember we had Charlie Sheen sitting next to us at something? And did I get into an argument with him? He was smoking. And I told him, you tell me.
Let me do it better, because
Yeah.
I was sitting on the other side. I used to drive you places because I just like being with you, and we went to see a premiere
That's
at
right.
a very small theater. And
Oh, yeah.
we sat down first, and here comes Charlie Sheen. Here's Charlie. And he lights up a cigarette.
And I said,
"Do you have to smoke? Really?" Yep. And you went, "Okay." And I just bust up laughing. He's like,
he wasn't going to
He
stop.
wasn't going to stop, but you made your point, and that was that. So, and then
That was my first meeting with Charlie Sheen.
yeah,
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
And then another moment I remember that I will never forget.
What? Oh God, I don't know what you're going to
We
say.
went to a play, and it might have been the Macbeth play. And there was beautiful stairs going up, and we were walking together, and Gene Wilder and Gilda Radner come walking by. Gilda Radner was dancing around him, and Gene Wilder looked at her with these beautiful blue eyes with such love. And we both looked at each other, tears in our eyes, like, wow, that's love, you know? And something I've never forgotten.
You got tears in your eyes.
Seriously.
You're an idiot.
I'm an idiot, but I just love that moment.
I thought they were doing a show or something, but
it was so beautiful.
It was Macbeth. It was Macbeth.
And then at the end of the Macbeth, we're all sitting around, and you ask me, Ian McClellan say, okay, we're going to do the last scene, the war scene. I need some volunteers to come up here. And you go, what the? I'm not getting up on that stage, Jerry. Get up there. Ian McClellan. I go, okay, so I get up there. There's about 20 of us. We all huddle up. And Ian McClellan looks at us and goes, okay, when I say this one line, I want you all just to drop
it. I remember.
And so I'm like, so we're all just standing there. All of a sudden he just says this one word. We all fall down. And he's walking over us, doing this monologue. And I'm supposed to be dead, but I'm like, looking at me and the clown walking over me. I'm like, wow, that's amazing, you know? And so then when I was older, I said, good idea, Jerry.
Could you, you can come in on the camera. There's a frame here. Just,
Hey, Carson, would you mind doing that? Come in on the frame.
Wait. I'll get up.
Okay.
Forget it.
I didn't get it. I mean,
no, I can't. This damn seat is.
Stay on
I know
it.
exactly what it is.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I know what you think it is. I dug this up.
Oh. No, I knew that's what it was.
You knew what this was? How old were you here?
Maybe 19, 20.
Wow.
I actually thought about redoing it with us.
Oh,
now.
really?
Wouldn't that be
Maybe
funny?
we could do that. There was something I was going to ask you about. You know, I don't know anything about family. I know your mother and father.
You met my mother and father many times.
And your mother came to a program. Barbara Streisand's sister,
Right,
my close friend Rosalind Kine, was performing, and she was there with you, right?
You're the reason why she doesn't eat limes anymore.
Why is that? Let me turn this around.
Because, remember you said, no, never eat lime. Marge, don't eat limes. They don't wash them.
Oh.
From that day, 20 years ago, my mother still does not eat limes. And she always says, Jerry told me not to.
You told me before, when I just said hello, you said you noticed something around the house and you wanted to ask me about it. What was that?
We were sitting down to dinner last night, and I looked up, and I noticed all your signs, but there's one that's recurring all over the
What do you
house.
mean all my signs?
Oh, there's signs.
Well, I want people to know what's expected.
And we do.
Okay.
So I looked up, and I finally decided to ask you. It says, just stop it. So I said, Jerry, what does that mean? What are you trying to stop?
Oh, the sign says,
Just
stop it. Oh, boy. You want something serious now, and I can't make it funny. I had a marvelous career over the years. Lots of ups, lots of successes, I had 3 of the hit shows running simultaneously in Los Angeles theater. And lately, I was feeling down. I was feeling like, what's happened to me? How come I'm not feeling as successful as before? I would go along Hollywood Boulevard and see the marquee from the Las Palmas Theater, Gerald Gordon Presents, and I thought, oh, I made it in Hollywood. And that's say Fantastics was running at my theater. And anyway, I was reminiscing about all of these wonderful things that had happened to and for me. And then I started thinking about, I got depressed. And I thought, well, what am I doing wrong? How come I'm not successful like I was once, or 2, 3, or whatever? And I remembered my friend Larry. I mentioned Larry. Larry is a psychiatrist, psychologist. He advises big companies. He lives in London, and he's lived there ever since college, I guess. And he's a PhD doctor, that type of psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever. So I called Larry, and I said, Larry, what's wrong with me? And he said, oh my God, how much time do we have? And I said, no, I'm being very serious. I'm having a problem. I'm having a problem adjusting to who I am. I'm not the who I used to be, and I'm not pleased with the who I am. And he said, tell me, what are you talking about? And I said, I'm bemoaning what used to be, and I'm missing it. And I'm thinking that maybe I was just lucky, maybe I'm a failure. And he said, get a pencil and paper. And I said, I want to tell you something. He said, get a pencil and paper, idiot. And so I got a pencil and paper, and I said, okay, what am I going to write? I'd write you a letter or something? And he said, no, write, just stop it. And I said, you want me to write? And he said, no, write those 3 words, just stop it. So I wrote it. And he said, now, make little posters with those 3 words and put it all around your house, no matter where you go. And if you're getting that morbid sort of, oh, I'm not famous and or successful anymore, stop it. And think about what you could be and what you're going to be and what you are. And I said, and people pay you a lot of money for something like this? But I did put it in. I have them all around. Is there one in here?
Right behind you.
Oh, well, there's one in every room. The funniest one is I'm sitting on the toilet, and there's one facing me, and I think, well, I gotta be up. I can't be morbid anymore. But it does work, people. I've told this story to a couple of people, and they made their own lists. Just stop it. Think about who you are and that you're great. Good, great. I don't mean great like famous great, but that you have so much to offer, and you can overcome so many things if the head. I have a nephew who always says to me, "It's all in your head," and I told him where I'd like to shove his head, but anyway, it has worked, and that's why I have them around the house, because I forget, and I think, woe is me, poor Jerry, and then I see, just stop it, and I think, you're right, Larry, I'm wonderful, I'm just marvelous. Not as handsome, but I'm
Yes,
pretty.
you are.
Oh, that's why I love you, because you say all the right things. Do you have anything else you want to remind me of? Or I think maybe we're...
One thing I remember, you became my manager. And we had a big interview that probably would have been career changing. And you had a little satchel you carried with you, like under your arm. And I walk in and I talk to the director and sit there and we're having our interview. I read for the thing, and the director looks at you and she goes, "I'd like to talk to you. Could you step outside?" So I stepped outside, and Jerry comes out, and I could always tell when you were angry by how much your nostrils were flaring, and your nostrils were flaring. And I said, "Jerry, did I get the job?" And you said, "Well, yes." And I said, "Well, what does yes mean?" And you said, "Well, he said you're going to have to sleep with him." I said, "So I didn't get the job, did I?" And you said, "Nope." And I think it's somebody that we know right now that's really in a lot of trouble. So I thank you for that, because...
Oh, hell, we could have had a much bigger career had you just... What's the difference? Anyway.
No, but that's the kind of person you were. You're very protective of your students, you know, and your friends and your family, and you were so great to your mother and your sisters.
I am so lucky, I live now in Las Vegas, and I don't have a whole flock of students around anymore. But I have one friend here that I love so much, and I would do anything for her. If I could only get her organized or something, but I still love her. And she has 5 children, and they all come over, and they swim in my pool, and it's the life that I've never had. And they're all beautiful. Not quite as beautiful as she is, but I love her so much.
And now you're making me jealous. That's okay.
Well, no, you're all right.
Oh, that's right. She's younger.
Yeah, she's much younger, and she's prettier. I have to tell you that, you know. So, anyway, thanks for coming by. Thanks for
anything for you.
Well, Oh, well, I have a... Thank you for watching. Join us again. Oh, I have some wonderful people lined up. John, who starred in my movie for me, is back in town. I'm going to try to get Streisand's sister, Roz, and I hate saying Streisand's sister. I'm trying to get her, and then if I get her here, we'll get her to sing. You came to a concert of hers.
I've been to 2 with you.
2, yeah.
Mhm.
She's wonderful. And,
She really
and
is.
Barbara has a son, Jason, and maybe I can get him to come with Rosie. Oh, there's a cop, a retired cop who lives here in town. He came and spent a Thanksgiving with me and my family. You know, I told you earlier that I forgot something, well, I don't know if you want me to bring this up, but how long were you in prison?
I was in prison over 30 years. After the interview with that man that you took me to, I thought, you know,
Right.
this is not for me.
So what did you end up doing?
I ended up joining the Los Angeles County Probation Department.
Oh, so you were working there?
Yes.
Ah, David Gonzalez.
I actually worked for Kilpatrick. It was for 15 to 18-year-old boys that were from LA City, the at-risk youth.
They were criminals.
They were criminals, yeah.
You were attacked, weren't you?
Twice. I think well, they're not really attacked. I love these boys. I mean, I love them.
Oh.
And when they would fight, it was my job to break them up. So I would get in the middle of these scuffles and break up these big...
But you got hurt.
I would say about 8 times, yeah, over the 30 years. So finally, I realized that it's time for me to go out to pasture, and now I'm going to go back to acting. I'm going to take your classes again.
I knew there was a reason for forgetting something. I think we just... So I wanted you to be a lot more specific. I understand you broke things, or they broke body parts, or...
Ooh, my rotator cuff surgery, I had my knee redone, my back, my neck. Yeah.
But you kept working there.
Oh, I loved them. I loved them. I loved my job. I did. I loved it. Those kids were funny. They were smart. We did improv classes that I learned from you.
They were criminals.
No, they're just kids.
Misunderstood kids. So we need more people like you, I guess. Well, what can I say? She's my friend. Okay. Thank you again.
You're welcome. I love you.
I love you too. In 40 years, it's lasted.
40
Cut
more.
us off,
40
please.
more. 40 more.
Me and my family. So I have a line of wonderful people that we can visit with. And it's nice visiting with you. Come back. Thank you so much.